Chains by Boss. Chains by Boss is now the official sponsor of the Cowboy Up podcast. If you need your custom cowboy chains, you go to Chains by Boss. You can find them on any of your social media. You can find them on TikTok, Chains by Boss on TikTok. You can find them also on Instagram, Chains by Boss, and you can also find them on Facebook. Chains by Boss will deliver the hottest new cowboy chains for you, and we recognize them as our official Cowboy podcast sponsor. Thanks. And always, Dallas Cowboys for life. Peace. The Cowboy Up podcast would love to welcome Vosqueros Gang as our official sponsor of the Cowboy Up podcast. Vosqueros Game has all your custom stickers, your custom towels, your custom tumblers, anything you need to represent your team, such as those Dallas Cowboys or even those hated San Francisco 49ers. Vosqueros Gangs have you. You can find them on all social media, especially Instagram and TikTok. The Cowboy Up podcast welcomes Vosqueros Gang as our official sponsor of the show. As always, Dallas Cowboys for life. Peace.
Check it out.
From Stop 6, Texas, it's the big fella. It's Dallas Cowboy Chris. And from the 915, El Paso, Texas, it's 21, Armando 21. And from the capital city of Texas, Austin, the Hill Country, is our man, Retrofit Sports. It's Rue. And from the great state of Arizona, he's Mikey 520.
Stephen A. Smith will admit this team right here is legit, cause this is our year. This is our year. No wonder they be hating, cause this is our year. This is our year. This is our year. It's time to finish this fight, cause this is our year. The name of the game is win, we them Cowboys. First down, second down, we them Cowboys. Third down, touchdown, we them Cowboys. Everybody over here be some Cowboys. We be die hard, we be die hard, we be that blue.
I got no sound.
There we go. Hey, I'm over here tripping, man. I'm over here tripping. It's Tuesday, but I think the drinks already flowing over here. Yep.
Man, we are live, and I feel like, did Chris just put us together? What's going on?
So the big fella, right before we came on, he texted me. He texted us, right? He said, "Hey, I froze, fella." So hey, but we live. It's Tuesday, y'all. Welcome everybody. I appreciate that. Corner in the building. Ivan Sosa in the building. Shout out, man. Thank you guys for joining. As always, Rue. We got a lot to talk about, man. It's been a lot of cuts. These Cowboys. They made some cuts that kind of threw us off for a loop. There he is. Always creeping in as the big fella says.
I'm about to say, creeping in the back door.
He's always creeping in the back door. There he is.
In the back door.
What's up, Mikey?
What's crack-a-lacky? Can you hear me?
Crack-a-lacky, man. Hey, we chilling. We just, we getting started. The Cowboys, they threw us for a loop in a lot of these cuts and trade. We saw a trade today, right? Yeah. So, Rue, what's up, Rue? What's going on, man?
Hendershot you knew Hendershot wasn't going to make this team, so it's better that we got some sort of compensation for him, opposed to just let him hit the waiver wire and getting picked up. You know, he was a big cog 2 years ago, and he was a little bit of a fan favorite. And then to see him go to the Chiefs, where you know they're going to make something of him, you know, considering they're where they breed, they've gotten their stable of ex-Cowboy tight ends and make them useful. There's the big fella.
I suck, man. I really do. Hey, man.
We went right into the show too. I was like, fuck it, I guess we're doing this.
Hey, man, it never happens but on Tuesdays when we got a big show and a lot of things to talk about. Hey, dude, I was literally doing the introductions, right? I'm clicking on our show introduction, get ready to go, dude. Why both of my monitors just shut down? I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
I saw the text message and I was like, oh, there it is. We hosted.
I didn't. Well, and it was fucked up for me because I could tell Mondo was talking. But I couldn't hear shit, so I'm just like, what's going on right now? What is happening? And I didn't see the message. He said it. I looked at the message. I was like, holy shit! And then Mike came in the back door. I was like, shit.
I like ruining shit. I do. It's a part of it. It's just a part of it, bro. I don't know what I missed. I don't know anything, but I see the fellas, man. What up, Mikey? What up, 21? What up, bro?
Let's press the restart button and let's go.
Hey, if you want me to press the restart button, I will press the restart button and we'll get started all over again.
We here, man. Let's do this. Now we here. We
here. All right, well, we here.
Let's do this, man. What's up, big fella? Talk to us.
Well, let's go, man. This is the big deal right here, man. We've been talking about this for 3.5 weeks. Okay, really longer than that.
Yeah,
so Dario, we gotta let Mikey pronounce his name correctly. Mikey, what's the name?
Cedarius de Leon Lamb. Ya está. Ya está en casa. He's home. We knew he always was going to be here. So you already know.
Well, CeeDee is in, man. 4 years, 136, 38 mil in his bank account right away. Cedarius is here. So Cedarius got his money. So 21, tell me what took so damn long?
Man, I think all Cowboys Nation was wondering what took so damn long. We was all just kind of, as Pinky said, motherfucker had me scared there for right? Had me scared.
Had me scared. But I held my own. But I held my own.
I held my own, right? So we was all kind of, wondering what was going on. We were like, damn, Jerry really is dragging this shit out. But, right. Cedarius de Leon Lamb is back in the building. And as he said it in Spanish, how did he say it, Mikey? Estoy aquí.
He said, estoy aquí, estoy en casa, or something like that, to that effect. And that start to celebrate because he's gonna bring it or something to that effect. He had the same thing.
So he said it, and he said it in Spanish. So it's official. Cedarius de Leon Lamb is back in the building, and it feels good to have that number one wide receiver back in the building, man. I was watching. Shout out to Joel Conde on TikTok and El Super Cowboy. If y'all didn't get chance to check out the conversation with Chris with the Super Cowboy this weekend, great conversation. Y'all got to check that out. But shout out to them. They were at the training camp, and y'all should have heard the roar when CeeDee came out. Man, it was beautiful. So that man is back.
Joel Conde's mask is very original. I like his mask. It's very original.
We're not gonna start this shit again, okay? We're not gonna do it. We've already for people who watch Conversation with Chris, greatly appreciate it. Unlike our other show hosts who don't support, that is what it is, So Rue, man, what you think about CeeDee, man, getting these 4 years? The Cowboys wanted 5, CeeDee wanted 3, but they settled at 4, 136, man. What you think about it, brother?
Honestly, I mean, obviously, I'm ecstatic. I'm happy as hell. I couldn't be more happy that we got our
You
number
didn't
one
want to pay
weapon
no
back.
ribeye.
And I'm very happy about that. And yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to give you an easy win. This is supposed to happen naturally, I thought.
Yeah.
Either
I would have
way.
been pissed.
Either way. Honestly, man, when it came down to the years, it made sense for me why he wanted to do it. CeeDee Lamb is 25 years old. This boiled down to math. He can get another contract at 29. It's a little easier at 29 than it is at 30. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like, for that next one to come, he got to plan that out right, which the 3 years made sense. Because I mean, what better than 30 than 28? I mean, it just came down to the math. But I'm glad they got the deal done. And they're going to do it in dramatic fashion. And the fact is, he didn't need to be here for camp anyway. We needed to see what we had with these other receivers because somebody's got to fill in and be number 2 at some point. And that's just what that room kind of boiled down to. And I'm glad he's here. And timing's great because we got a couple weeks to kind of get back in the rhythm. Bring on the Browns, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Because I was thinking. I said, man, I was talking to Texas Ace, Greg, and he was asking me about CeeDee. I said, man, CeeDee Lamb is gonna get signed this week. I said it's gonna be 2 weeks before the season. It's gonna be perfect timing. It's serious business now at practice now. Ain't no joking around. Ain't no. This is all ones getting ready right now. So the experiment. I'm trolling tonight, as y'all can see. I'm trolling. So hey man, I'm really excited, man. I just hate to wait to the last minute to do crap, man. Got 21 nervous like Hanky and everything like that, man. You can't have 21 nervous like that.
Yeah, we can't. We can't be nervous,
Well,
man.
we knew what it was. Like we knew what it was gonna be, guys. I know it wasn't tight, and it led. Every show was a Cowboy show today. And just to let you know that again, we are the show, and y'all teams are the commercials. Period. End of the damn story. And we knew who the ringleader of the circus was. We didn't blink for a second. It was great content, but this was gonna get done. There was no doubt in our minds it was gonna get done. It's crazy though how they stood pat. They stood pat with the 34 million, and the numbers exactly like Rue said. That makes more sense. A 3 in front of a 2 in front of your age, opposed to a 3, gives you more leverage for the next contract. But let's go. Let all the bullshit and let's let our hair down and let's get this season started.
I know, man. So all the words is over, and CD's in. So is Dak next? Is Dak Prescott getting signed, or are they gonna let him ride for the season?
I mean, honestly, we find ourselves in a very interesting position with Dak Prescott because if you really let him get to the end of this contract and you put him out there on the market, what could come could be immense. It could be something ridiculous because there is a poverty franchise out there that will spend all that money. And hey, Chris, I have to cut myself off. Somebody noticed your shirt.
I'm trolling today. I'm trolling. Hey, I'm trying to get a little troll on, because I seen the last 5 minutes of somebody's show on Saturday, and that shit was hilarious.
But anyway,
I'm trolling. Go ahead.
But anyway, when it comes to Dak, today with CeeDee Lamb's deal, we created $24 million in cap space. Well, by doing this deal today,
What?
Yeah,
Say
right.
what?
We created $24 million in cap space just by getting this deal done. And obviously, things will come when they come, but we have a lot of cap. We today or the day before we signed CeeDee Lamb for next season, we have the Commander style cap space coming into next season. Obviously, we have deals to get done that are going to come into that. But with this, we have some cap space now, and it's like, I'm curious to know, because they have been making moves. They've been picking up D tackles. They've been doing some things. But when it comes to Dak, because this would create even more cap space, if I'm not mistaken, if you got Dak's deal done, they have a huge decision to make in terms of waiting to the end of the season. Because if they do that, and he does let's say he does exactly what he did last season. Phenomenal year, MVP race, 4,500 yards, 30 plus tubs, single digit interceptions, loses in the first round of the playoffs. Exactly the same thing. It will be a bidding war for Dak Prescott next season. Y'all thought Kirk Cousins got paid? No. It will be different. The Raiders, there's multiple teams.
Giants.
The Giants. There's multiple teams that would come knocking on Dak's door to come get him to go. So it's almost like you really have to make this decision now. And if they don't make this decision now, I think they already made this decision. And this very well could be the last year you see Dak Prescott as a Dallas Cowboy.
Well, it's for Dak. It's interesting because it's either what he could get paid $60 million right now a year, or if he waits, he could get almost up to $75 million a year if he holds on and waits. So it's on him. He has all those clauses: no tagging him, no trading him, no none of that. He foresaw this, and for the amount of disrespect this man has gotten from this franchise, like even when he got his last contract from Jerry. Jerry's nobody's ever took me to the woodshed. Like, he was basically saying he didn't want to pay him as much as he was paying him, like giving him that money and then saying that was a backhanded compliment if you think about it. And since he signed that contract, I'm sorry, 36 wins. I keep saying that. 36 wins. Yes, he had that 1 year where he threw 15 interceptions, but he still had the number one offense in the league. And last year he was damn near the MVP. So he has every right, with all the disrespect that he gets from these fans and the disrespect he's gotten from this old ownership. And at the end, it's a business.
Yeah, you're right, Mikey. It is a business. So, which business are we going to be in? We're going to be in the business of trying to continue to win games, or we're going to be in the business of rebuilding? Which business we going to be in?
Well, you know what we're investing in, Chris. We're Dackers, right? We are.
Mm-hmm.
But these, like I my moniker about being the Cowboy fan that hates Cowboy fans stands tall with these Cowboy fans that really didn't remember Chad Hutchinson, Vinny, Drew Bledsoe. Like they don't remember that purgatory. They don't. We got lucky to go from Tony to Dak and have almost it's gonna be 13, no, more than 15 years of consistent quarterback play we've been blessed with, and they want to start off new and get a Trey Lance and put their money in the middle of the table for a Trey Lance. And there's a part of me that wants these sons of bitches to get what they wish for. Wish for it, and you'll get it, and see what happens.
Well, I can name off them quarterbacks if you want. I can. From Troy Aikman to Tony Romo, Jason Garrett, Randall Cunningham, Anthony Wright, Ryan Leaf, Clint Sterner, Chad Hutchinson, Quincy Carter, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Henson, Drew Bledsoe, Brad Johnson, John Kitna, Stephen McGee, Kyle Orton, Matt Castle, Brandon Whedon, Kellen Moore, Andy Dalton, Garrett Gilbert, Ben DiNucci, and Cooper Rush. So
purgatory. Hey, I'm gonna set up my studio. I'll see you guys in a minute.
All right, yeah. So you want to get rid of Dak Prescott. Come on, man. You saw in the preseason game why number 4 is valuable to you. You especially seen it in the last preseason game. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not dogging out Trey Lance anymore. He is what he is, right? He is what he is. I mean, there's nothing about it. You see the glimpses of the athleticism, like the long touchdown run, all that other good stuff, okay? But when it's time to actually make a good decision reading and throwing the ball in the right position, it doesn't happen. And that with 5 interceptions go in a preseason game against people that's not even on rosters anymore. Can you imagine if he was in a real game against people that's making millions of dollars? That 5 may have been 8 interceptions. So
I tell you this though, man. I feel like they are poised to just keep everybody and pay everybody too, because we have like 90 million against the cap that we have available next season,
right.
and it wouldn't surprise me with all these moves in terms of them just. It's always this organization doesn't pay. It really doesn't. Like, we have our key players, but it really doesn't pay outside of that. They find it in the bargain. They find it in the basement. You don't see any movement in free agency. So with all this space that they've created, it wouldn't surprise me if they made Dak number one paid all over again, just like they did a few years ago.
Yeah.
And did the same thing with Micah Parsons, and we become dependent upon those three players. My only issue right now with where I'm at with Dak Prescott is these playoff performances are starting to become glaring. It is a problem. Yeah. It is a problem. And if you go out and you do the exact same thing again, it's hard for me not to at least think about moving on. Or it's hard for me not to at least try to check out what my options could be if I wanted to do something like that. Because at the end of the day, I do have some leverage. I am stacking up draft picks. It's hard not to want to move from that, as good as he's been throughout the regular season. And the real issue is it's become a situation where, yes, he produces, but I challenge you, man. And I did this with my cousin the other day, just because we were going through yearly shit for the NFL and its gambling degeneracy, but we don't have to get into that right now. Ultimately, I'm looking at these wins and quality wins against plus 500 teams. It's not great. I'm not saying it's not existent, but it's not great. And in these big games is where champions and people that are lifelong players in this league, that's where that shit comes from. And you start to wonder, is it just time to move on? I mean, everything's hinting around it, right? Even with things that he said, every great quarterback that he's ever known has always played for another organization. Everyone. Maybe it's just time for me. And I'm curious to know, as great as he's been in that regular season, is there a part of you that if you found yourself in a situation, which I'm not a huge fan of this quarterback class that's coming, if I'm being totally transparent, but if you found yourself in a situation where it's like he gets another injury, we have a bad year, we fall around the 500 range, we maybe sneak into the 7th seed kind of season, lose in the first round, are you at that point wanting to bring him back? Or do you let him go? And that's obviously assuming he doesn't light it up again this year and do what he did last year again this year. There's a lot that goes into what could happen, but there's two sides to every coin. If you're faced with a situation where that's what you get, that's the product that's put on the field in this man's 9th year, what are you doing at the end of the season? Are you letting him go ahead, test the free market? Come back when you got more money kind of deal? Or are you just, I'm keeping him no matter what?
I'm sorry, 21, I butted in, but I just don't see a scenario where the Cowboys are winning without him. I don't see that scenario. I understand exactly what you're saying. I know they were reading off the tiers of the quarterbacks. They had the tier ones, meaning quarterbacks that can carry your team just by them, and that was really Patrick Mahomes, and they had the boy in Cincinnati, Burrow, and then they had Josh Allen, and then tier 2 they had Dak. They said they can carry a team to a certain point, but they may need some help. Okay. So if you got a tier 2 a quarterback out of out of 5 tiers, and you want to move on for a rookie just unknown just because of money situation. Let me put it like this: guess who was in tier three, and all of them make more money than Dak Prescott? Okay, tier three. Okay, Justin Herbert. What has he done? Kyler Murray. What has he done? Okay, Trevor Lawrence. What has he done? All these people make more money than Dak Prescott, right? Do you want any of those three? They set the market each year that they sign. They reset the market, and they've done absolutely nothing. Why do you have a problem with Dak Prescott setting the market and he's done more? He's accomplished more. Why, when it's time for him to get paid, it's a problem? It was never a problem when Tony Romo, y'all never heard Tony Romo thinking about sitting out or leaving or anything like that. Jerry paid him immediately. Okay? Because he was their only option. So now we got our only option, number 4, and the media and everybody else that likes the dog. He can't win in the big game, but the man career ain't over. It's not over. They think, man, y'all, everybody think that Dak is in his fucking on a decline instead of the incline. I mean, I don't see that at all. So, when all these other quarterbacks set markets, nobody has a problem with it. Nobody. But then when it comes to Dak Prescott, it's a problem. And I think if Dak Prescott did play for any other team, the world, everybody would appreciate him more. Just ask them Raiders if they would love him. Man, just ask New York Giants in our own division, would they love Dak Prescott if they had them, man? They would actually have a team. They probably would have kept Saquon. It's things like that, man. So, I'm actually tired of trying to defend Dak Prescott because I don't think he needs to be defended. I think the man deserves the money. He's an elite quarterback, man. He is. Of course, he had some struggles in the playoffs. We know that. We've seen it. We always upset about it. 21 saw him in San Francisco and was pissed off about his performance. I was too. I say, but I just not gonna throw a top tier quarterback in the trash for a rookie for the unknown. I can't do it. 21. I'm sorry. I rambled a little bit.
With Dak Prescott, it's hard for me. It's hard for me because Rue brought up a great point about those big games just adding up already, right? They're adding up, and you're just like you're torn. Now, this man is an elite quarterback. He's at the top of those tiers, right? And but it's just to me, it comes down to those big wins that we need. It just doesn't show. It doesn't show. I'm not saying I don't want Dak. That obviously he gets us to where we want to be, which is in the playoffs, right? Mikey said those 36 wins. We need those to get into the playoffs, right? So he gets us there. But damn, after that, it's just like it gets to a point where you're just like you're torn. Do you still want this man? But then you get to
And
Chris right off the list, the big fella right off the list. Is that where we want to go back to? Because it's tough. It's tough. If we get dogged out for being Cowboy fans now that we win, imagine if we're just as if we're
just a sad sack
if we're the Raiders, shit, it's gonna be tough. And we really gotta have thick skin, right? But so for me, it's iffy. But I honestly think, fellas, that this is gonna be more on Dak. I think that Jerry and they see the value in him. They see what the big fella's talking about as far as you don't have quarterbacks out there like that. You don't just get quarterbacks like that. Like it's tough to get an elite quarterback at the draft, right? So I think that this is not going to be all on Dak. I think Dak is really going to be the one to say, you know what, I'm going to stay or I'm going to go. I think this man, yeah, I think he's going to, I honestly think he's the one that's going to sit it out and weigh his options because he knows he's going to have interest from other teams. And like Bruce said, and we've all seen it, he's been putting it out there slowly but surely, He's talked about great quarterbacks going to other teams. So, whatever the decision comes down to at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be a fucking Cowboys fan,
Yeah.
where it is. But as long as this man is my quarterback, that's who I'm riding with, right? I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and this is the team that I root for. I'm not gonna dog out my quarterback, and trust me, I have videos that I haven't posted. I dogged the shit out of him, especially that San Francisco game. Maybe one day I'll post them, but not yet. But it's tough. It's tough. It's hard.
I'll tell you this though, it's like you said though, Chris, with a lot of those, like Kyler Murray, for example. He's 4 years Dak Prescott's like junior, man. He's 4 years younger than him. Dak has already been paid as the highest paid quarterback in the league once in his career. You're moving on to contract 2. I have to be able to put pieces around you. You're not getting any younger. And I'm not denying that somebody else would come in here and pay him top dollar, make him the highest paid quarterback in the league kind of money. But I'll tell you what, after taxes, when you move your ass to California, good luck. Or I guess it's Las Vegas, but either way, good freaking luck. But forget it if it's New York. But I feel like if he wants that contract now, it's got to be something where I think they're honestly trying to keep it to where he's not the highest paid or not trying to reset the market. I don't believe that that's what they want to do. I don't believe they want to reset the market with Dak Prescott and really what messes it all up is what the Jaguars did with Trevor Lawrence. That's really what gets us in the weeds with this entire thing, because the Jaguars literally got rid of everyone and their only star is Trevor Lawrence. That is literally it for them. Him and Travis Etienne. Like that, there's and maybe Evan Ingram, for the true diehards out there. But it's
the defensive end they signed.
Josh Allen. Yeah. He added a third name too. I forget.
He added
hyphenated.
Fellas, let me take this back to the CeeDee contract.
Go ahead.
Do you guys think that CeeDee went into that room and asked like, who's gonna be my quarterback these next years?
That's a good question.
That'd be a question I'd ask if I was a receiver.
Like, do you think
I was a receiver,
you're gonna be here the next 4 years?
I would ask that question.
Wouldn't you, as one of the elite receivers in the game? Do you want to know who's gonna be your quarterback? I mean, I'm saying, do you think this man brought that up? Do you think he signed saying, honestly, I know who's gonna be my quarterback?
Honestly, no. Because at the end of the day, he worried about him and his money.
Yeah, that's
whoever's throwing. I mean, look at Jefferson. Sam Darnold's throwing him the ball this year. You think he gives a shit? He's getting paid, baby. Regardless. We're talking millions of dollars here. Like he could have left. He could have taken less, go somewhere else, play with a better quarterback. He didn't know what J.J. McCarthy was going to be.
Yeah, but think about Adams in Las Vegas. He thought he was going to have a good quarterback. Okay, we know he's an elite receiver, but his damn numbers didn't went like that when he left Aaron Rodgers.
And now what does he want to do?
He want to get to New York. He's trying to get to the Jets. So, you can make all the money in the world and all that, but man, I thought the whole thing was trying to win, right?
Yeah.
So, I think I'm a prideful dude, man. I hate losing, especially during the football game. I'm like, shit, I want to win, period. And I think right now the best solution is number 4, because you seen, I don't give a damn what you say. Your eyes don't lie. Y'all seen them preseason games. You saw it. And
I'm not saying the answer is on this team.
Well,
I was very clear about my opinions on Trey Lance last week. I don't think I need to harp on him anymore after 5 interception Saturday.
Well, you were brilliant when you did it. So, hey, do it again if you like.
I mean, he is what I thought he was. I'll tell you that much. Good God, man. Like I don't know what people saw, man, but just watching him play, it looks so forced. It looks like amateur hour out there. It really does. It's not a pretty sight. The ball is a pretty ball, maybe. It's got a lot of velocity behind it, but
he looks like a third string quarterback.
Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like.
Thank you.
And he's a wasted fourth round
pick.
You're never going to get that money back. It's just a waste. And it was a thing you really didn't need. You didn't need, and you created no leverage for yourself whatsoever. None. You have no leverage now because now Jackson's like, okay, this guy's not better than that guy. Like we're talking about Cooper Rush.
He couldn't beat that Cooper.
What are you doing?
Couldn't beat that. Couldn't beat him. But anyway, we'll leave them quarterbacks alone, man. Let's go to Rue. I hope you got your list out, man. Because my second monitor it just totally crashed because I can't bring up the list. The 53-man roster is set, but I want y'all to be aware about something. Just because it's set today, don't mean it's gonna be the roster when it comes next Sunday, week 1. Okay. Now, our big thing was the running back room, the linebacker room, and I was actually surprised at tight end. I actually, well, you know, they've been talking about John Stevens for a while, so they decided to trade Hendershot to the Kansas City Chiefs, and we got a 7th round pick for third string tight end. That's a win to me. You know,
I was about to ask, what did we get in return? Just a 7th rounder?
We got a 7th rounder for him.
It's an unconditional pick.
Unconditional, but hell, you got something for him. Yeah. You know. So I think that they've been trying to get John Stevens on the field for 2 years now, but health reasons has prevented him. So we're going with Scooney at 2, and we're going with damn, why am I trying to play? I'm dead.
John Stevens.
No, I'm talking about starting tight end.
Jake
Ferguson. Fergie. Damn. Fergie had 1. So the tight end room looked good. Now they at linebacker, they cut Willie Harvey Jr., which was the show's fan favorite. We were cheering for Willie Harvey. 21. What do you think about the linebacker? I don't know if you got it up on your phone. The linebacker room. Rue, do you have it up? All the linebackers. Name our linebackers again that stayed on the team.
It is Eric Kendricks, the DeMarion Overshone, Damone Clark. Well, I can't say his name. Maurice Leofau.
Yeah.
And Buddy Johnson.
Yeah. Now, Buddy made it over Willie Harvey Jr. So, are y'all happy with this linebacker? Now, I am. Let me tell you why I am happy, even though I'm sad that Willie didn't make it. They're bigger than last year. They're actually linebackers that's on the team this year. Yeah. We don't have safeties playing linebacker.
No.
We got actual linebackers this year. So 21, what you think about that linebacker group?
It's a good linebacker group. Obviously, we still want to see what Overshone is going to bring. We've seen a little glimpse, I guess, during preseason, right? Especially coming off that ACL. But I think like Corner said, and most of us, Harvey was a surprise to everybody. We were rooting for him when he came off the USFL. We saw a couple of his highlights and his stats were there, right? But you know, he was one of those. I guess he just didn't show enough in the preseason. I don't know why or how, but I guess you know that was that cut. But I think we were all surprised with that one.
Yeah, Rue, what you think about this linebacker room, brother? Because hey, we was deficient last year, brother. What do you think about it this year?
I love the potential of this linebacker room. I feel like the size is definitely a huge plus in terms of compared to what we had last year when you had Marquise Bell dropping down from safety to come play freaking linebacker. I mean, forget it. And for what we kept, I feel like I'm happy with what we kept. And you know, with what happened to Willie Harvey Jr., it really just goes to show you, man, how hard this league is to play in.
Right.
Because this man led the league in tackles the last 2 seasons in the UFL. You know, led the league in takeaways last season in the UFL. This kid can play, obviously, and he's not a kid. It is what it is. I'm just saying, it's kind of crazy to see that he is gone. I am curious to know if they kind of bring him back to the practice squad. I think that would be cool if they did. He had a couple of moments where he just missed the gap, missed the assignment, didn't get to the running back, and that'll cost you in this league, and it'll cost you a spot. And it's kind of crazy that it happened to him the way it happened. But big. I hope he continues to try and to move forward with it, man, because he's obviously got some potential there, just based on what he did in that other league in the UFL. But it really just goes to show you how hard it is to play in this damn league.
Yeah, I know, man. I was Jesus. I was just cheering for the cat, man. I wanted that 3 years in a row we hit
Yeah,
on a
UFL.
UFL player. We got the best kicker in the league from the UFL, USFL, and we got Turpin. Probably one of the best returners in the league. And I thought, man, we go. Hey, the Cowboys draft offensive linemen well. I said, man, they cherry pick those UFL players really good, man. So I was cheering for him. But let's go to Rue. Let's go to the offensive line. Who made the 53 and who did we cut, bro?
So starting O line, we kept obviously we got Tyler Guyton. It shows me Tyler Smith. I've got Brock Hoffman on both Dallas Cowboys website and on ESPN. Remains to be seen. Zach Martin, obviously, Terrence Steele, and then the guys you keep: Cooper Beebe, Matt Waletzko, Earl Bostick, Nathan Thomas, Austin Richards, TJ Bass is a big one, and obviously Chuma Edoga is still here.
Chuma, didn't they say they was gonna put Chuma on the injury list to start the season?
I'm sure he will.
Anybody hear that?
He's going to be out for. I mean, he broke his toe, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think he was on the injury reserve list or something like that.
It's very possible. I know for sure that Nathan Thomas was. Nathan Thomas is on IR. One of the backup left guards.
Yeah. So, because Waletzko made it, Ball made it.
No, Ball didn't make it.
Oh, Ball's gone.
Who was it?
Ball got
Bass. TJ
Bass. That's what I meant. Bass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. TJ Bass made it. Awesome Richards, and of course our boy Brock made it. BB made it, and the Hall of Famers at guard, both of them. both of the Hall of Famers.
I'm calling it now, damn it.
Yeah. So, Mikey,
What up?
you're a little dark, man. Turn the light on or something, man. You look,
Turn on the light.
yeah, you look like you.
on, man. I
Yeah,
still got a mess over here, so
You're working in
Turn
the
on the light.
darkness.
yeah. Yeah. Cowboy Corner, I got it, man. It's just a little light, man. I was trying to bring it up on screen, but my other monitor ain't working. That's why I can't bring it up, Corner. But yeah, I did get the text. Sorry, thank you, appreciate it. But Mikey,
what up?
whenever you come in the light, man, just let us know. Come on, come on, Carol Ann. Bring it. Walk into the light, Carol Ann. Walk into the light. But
I haven't got the setup yet.
yeah,
I
hey,
need one last piece for the setup before I want to throw it together.
okay. 21. Let's talk about the most important room of the season. The running back room.
The running back room, man.
I know this list. They kept Rico Dowdle, Zeke, Deuce, and Peyton Hendershot. I mean, not Peyton. Damn. Hunter Lipke. God, Lipke. So they kept 4. I thought they was gonna keep 5. I thought Royce was gonna make the team, but Royce didn't make it. So 21, this was your biggest pet peeve the whole offseason. Are you happy with the running back room?
No.
Oh, okay.
You wanted Royce, huh?
I wanted Malik Davis.
Oh,
I
you
wanted
wanted
Malik Davis. I thought Malik Davis showed us a little bit more in those preseason games than Deuce. Right, obviously we didn't get to see Lipke a lot, right? I don't think we saw him all preseason, right? So so I did think that that feel good story was coming to an end, but we're gonna continue to see it. And I hope it improves, right? I hope he does improve. I hope we see some of those explosive plays. But I did expect Malik Davis. I know Malik Davis has usually been on the practice squad, so we might see him there. But
Mhm.
I did expect Malik Davis to be on this final roster, right? But we didn't, So that was my only gripe right there. I like Rico Dowdle. You guys know I like Rico Dowdle. Zeke, I wish we would have seen him in preseason, especially him coming back from that Patriots stint, right? So but Zeke is Zeke, So I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with Luke actually, and I really hope you finally get to see him this season, right?
Yeah. So my whole thing is, man, how can I say this? It don't matter who starts, but they was sitting Zeke like he was the starter.
Yeah.
And what Rue, this is the question to you. Will you be surprised if number 15 start in Cleveland?
Not anymore.
Okay. Okay, explain.
I hate that we're in this position, honestly. Like I feel like it's just deja vu all over again. Because in my head, I was really just thinking of him as just a gimmick back, goal line back, 4th and 1 kind of back, passing down back. Like that's really what I thought of him as. That's it.
Right.
That's all I thought of him as.
Hey, fellas, and then real quick, bro, and then we have another conundrum at the running back spot.
Yes,
I was just
sir,
about
we
to bring that
do.
up.
They got somebody visiting. Hopefully, he knows how to cook.
And that really just tells you everything that you need to know about this running back room. They're not confident in it. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed in Rico Dowdle. Because for Rico, it's like this was your time. This was your time to take over a game. This was your time to kind of try to show up, show out, do your thing. And obviously they're not putting him in it. They're not feeling good enough about him taking lead back role. We're just going to hand it over to Zeke, and they're bringing in a guy like Dalvin Cook. It is a situation where it's like, man, we're just kind of piecing together.
I don't know where
here
you
in that
get like
position.
disappointed though. Like you said, like the thing is, how do you know they're not looking at Dalvin Cook to maybe if it doesn't work out, like maybe we get him in 2 weeks. Like he's not necessarily getting signed already.
Because
He's not
Dalvin
on the
does what Zeke
roster.
does at this point. Like
What?
Dalvin might be because Dalvin does what Zeke does at this point. And I already have Hunter Lipke, so why bring in Dalvin Cook? And Dalvin might be a tad of an upgrade over Ezekiel Elliott, but it's like that picture that at the optometrist where it's like 1, 2, and they look the same. Like
Yeah,
it's
you saw that Jafar meme.
I'm telling you
saw
right
that
now.
Jafar meme.
I'm telling you, that's
but
all
check
that popped
it.
into
No,
my
check
head.
it,
That's
though.
literally
check
what,
it.
like,
No,
you
no,
can make a
just
meme.
stealing
You can
people's
make
jokes.
that meme
So
and put
anyway,
those two
no,
pictures in it, and
check
it would
this,
work
check.
perfectly. You know it would.
Isn't
Matter
there
of fact,
isn't there
I might
a,
just do
isn't there a
that.
isn't there a Peter Parker meme where he takes and puts the glasses on and takes them
Yeah.
off?
No, but you kind of love what this front office is doing. Like they're doing everything that we wanted them to do, or the silly Cowboy man. We don't get free agents. We ain't get you. We don't spend money. But that's not the way we run this organization. Obviously, this organization has gotten the most. They've done the most transactions since Cam started. Yeah, they let go. They let go of Lawson. You know what I mean? That created competition in the room, but you gotta like that they're bringing dudes in and they're putting that pressure on and getting dudes and we there's still names coming out of the cuts like what's the kid's name? Ah, shit. Um, another running back that just got cut. I can't even remember. What is it? Foreman? Devontae Foreman
Oh,
got
no,
cut.
you're talking
Royce
about
Freeman.
no,
Royce
he's
Freeman
talking,
got cut
no,
today.
he's talking about Frank Gore Jr.
And that Frank Gore Jr. got cut.
From
There's
Buffalo.
guys out there that we could get. We always knew that our running back room wasn't the strongest. There's not one to take it. We want Rico to be that. And I understand your sentiments, bro. I'm just busting your chops. You know what I mean? Because you such a bad word. Like you're so disappointed. Like we haven't even seen him run the ball yet in the first game. We'll see when he takes over the reins and he gets the ball more. But I understand your sentiments come where that comes from. Um, I we've been saying, the star of this offense is gonna be this line. It's gonna be this line. And I refer back to the 2015 season where Jerry McFadden was running the ball at his twilight, and we just got to find the right mix, and they're really in love with their Pomeranian. We got to see how they use this running game, and we're gonna have a situational running game. We're gonna tip our hand when we see Zeke out there. I want to see Zeke out there in the game. I want him chipping the fuck out of these hands. I want Zeke chipping, and then hand him the ball when it's 4th and 1 or fourth.
I mean, if I'm being honest, based on what we saw in the preseason, he's the one who popped. I mean, he's the one who had the biggest games. He's the one who jumped off the page, and he was doing it against starters. So I have to give him the credit where it's due. Like, as much as we may have liked Royce, or we may have liked Malik, and we may have liked whatever at this point, but it's just like he's the one who popped. He had his opportunities and he popped, and he showed how dynamic he can be in a game. And at the end of the day, his dad's on the coaching staff, or on the staff. So it's like you do get a little leg up for that. And maybe it's not fair. Maybe that's not how the world should work, but sometimes it is. And when you pop on screen and people like you and people like the story and it's about the money and fucking A, it all adds up, man. It all adds up.
And it's a nice jersey.
Them Deuce jerseys gonna fly, and Jerry's gonna love that.
And honestly, bro, how upset are you at the idea of having two receivers, Zeke, Deuce in the backfield, Jake? I don't hate that.
No, I don't hate that either.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it.
I think you can be a very unique offense and just kind of keep Dak in the wheelhouse. And next thing you know, he's going like 20 for 20 in the first half.
And then you know what? And I'll remind you of this, Rue. Remember 2 years ago when it came to we had a discussion on the other show about should we franchise tag Tony Pollard? And I always remind you of this because you had this whole breakdown, this a spreadsheet on how not paying your running back, the last Super Bowl winners, and they're going by that. They're going by that formula. They are, right?
Yeah, that Excel spreadsheet.
Technically, no. Because if you look at most of the other ones, there's only one exception to that rule, and it was Leonard Fournette. He was the only exception. He was the only paid assassin to come play running back. Drafted. That's my difference. You have to draft a running back for him to be your running back of the future. When you already have a problem at running back and you don't draft one.
They technically drafted Zeke, bro.
I don't want to hear that shit. I do not want to hear that shit. I wanted Zeke gone
better?
before everyone
Zeke right
here.
now or Leonard Fournette right at that point?
What?
Who's better, Zeke right now or Leonard Fournette in that Super Bowl season?
Leonard Fournette.
Leonard
had a great year. It was just over.
I'm asking you. I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm trying to get your piece of it.
Leonard, absolutely. We can even compare the year at the end of the year. You clip this shit. We could come back at the end of the year. If Zeke has a better year than Leonard's Super Bowl year, then I'll retire. God damn it, because I doubt it. It's like, forget it. There's no way.
Well, Mikey, are you happy with the running back room? We know they're bringing in Dalvin Cook for a workout or whatever, but are you happy with the room as it currently is?
I think we're all wishful thinking. We're all wishing on two guys right here. We know what Dowdle is, but we're wishing on Zeke and Deuce. That's what we are wishing on, and that's being on the ledge. And but I like this line. I like Cooper Beebe. He showed us something, man. And we haven't seen Cooper Beebe with Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, and Tyler Guyton next to Tyler Smith, and them all together to form
The Avengers.
Avengers Assemble. You know
Avengers.
what I mean? So we will see what it is. Oh man, it's like it's I have the rims right. I got the rims. We just see how it
Just
rides. We'll
no
just see how
motor
it
yet.
rides.
So the answer to the question is you're
I
not
don't know yet.
happy.
To be
Okay, all right.
determined.
I was like, okay, he went a long way and didn't answer shit. I thought you were running for office.
TBD.
Basically,
Hey, I'm a
got
Cowboys
doubts.
fan. I've been learning from the best.
got
Uh,
doubts. He just
I was
doesn't want to
like,
express those doubts. That's
I was,
really what
I was like, is he gonna answer the damn question or?
I like my offensive line. That's what I said.
he's being optimistic right now. Hoping his O line will carry whatever running back is back there.
I'm living in pre-nut delusion.
Okay, so are y'all are any of y'all interested in Dalvin? Are y'all interested? I mean, because I saw Boots said, hold on, that Dalvin. Let me go back to it. He said Dalvin is coming. Just watch. I mean, but what is he gonna give us though? I mean, because if you're thinking about Minnesota, Dalvin Cook his first 3 years, okay, man, we had that, of course. But Dalvin been hurt the last couple of years, right?
Yep. I think the biggest thing with Dalvin Cook right now is that every situation that he was in after Minnesota was not the greatest one for him. Ultimately, I think he's a slight upgrade over Zeke. I think that out of everybody that we have, the fact that they're bringing him in just gives me the idea that he definitely has a possibility to start. I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility, especially with this running back room. I don't hate Dalvin Cook. I do like Dalvin Cook's game. He has a lot of the same sort of abilities as Zeke. There's things that Zeke is still better than him at, I think.
Who's bigger? Isn't Dalvin a little smaller than Zeke?
It may be by like 5 pounds, bro. But I'll tell you right now, Zeke doesn't look especially strong. So I don't know how big I don't care how big he is. I don't think it really matters right now. It's at this point, with him coming in, I really feel like there's a chance that we could see him a lot if he shows out these next 2 weeks and, with what's left of training camp. But I mean, he hasn't even really been brought on yet. Like, he came in for an interview and, we haven't heard shit.
He hasn't been brought on yet. But do you think they're going to use the running game? And then I know you love your baseball, Rue. Saying the last fucking World Series, we're not getting into that shit. Like a pitching room. Like, all right, we just saw the documentary of Marion Barber, right? We just saw that. And what was Marion Barber famous for more than anything? He was one of the best closers in the fourth quarter. And that's because they did it by committee. That either him and Julius Jones, him and Felix Jones and Tashard Choice, and then they would put the battering ram to close the damn game. Do you see that with Rico Dowdle starting the game, getting more consistent carries during the game? Get the gadget guys, get CeeDee the ball, get Turpin the ball, then get the Pomeranian the ball, and then some more Daddle, and then end the game with fucking Zeke.
I have no doubt that that's what you should pretty much exactly what you should expect from Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy doesn't run the ball. I've said this since we brought him on. He's not a running football coach. Since the day we signed him, I was like, this man does not run the football. He doesn't. And we've seen that last few years that he's been here. And it's gotten worse and worse, I feel like. And this probably could be the worst year out of all of them, just based on the group, the guys in the room.
Right.
But I do have that optimism like Mikey in terms of what this O-line can provide for them, because it is absolutely looking like it's going to be a very good O-line. Remains to be seen. It's just preseason, but I feel good about what I've got up front. So maybe we can stir up some more productivity out of some guys that I feel like might be on the wrong side of their career. But it's really just, I would expect nothing less. I would expect him to kind of scheme some shit. I wouldn't be surprised to see two guys in the backfield and shotgun. I wouldn't be surprised to see some different kind of movement from different positions. I wouldn't be surprised to see, a lineup where you got in the slot, you've got Cavante Turpin, or maybe you throw in Deuce Vaughn, or maybe even you put in Zeke. It's not like Zeke can't catch the ball out of the backfield. He actually has really good hands. Yeah. It's one of the few things that kind of separates him from a lot of guys, especially that run the ball at his size. Most guys his size don't catch the ball like him. And yeah, he might not be able to do some of the stuff he was doing when he was younger, catching the ball way downfield, but he's got sure hands within 5 yards. So there's a lot of different things that I feel like we could do. I don't want to get doom and gloom over the running back game, and it's really just because I've had my own feelings about Zeke for the longest time, but it's just like to see that he's back and to be where we are, it's just typical for me in terms of what I can expect from Mike McCarthy. But when I look back at it, I'm always like, you always had like really good backs. You just didn't use them, Like Amon Green was a beast. Like they had some guys in the backfield, but I don't know. It's a funny room.
Homeboy ate himself out of the league. What was that?
Eddie Lacy. But even with Eddie Lacy, like he had his moments. Shit, I think he put up like 900 something yards one year. Can't remember exactly, but
I got a question. I guess it's a 2-part question. Is there anybody on the 53 that you surprised made it, and is there anybody on the cut list that you surprised got cut? We'll start with you, Mikey.
I wanted Harvey on this team. I wanted Harvey on this team. I liked his story. I liked his effort. But Virgil outplayed him, and when it came to shove, he lost his job. But we'll see if he ends up on waivers and he ends up back on our practice squad. And there was another one, Fiocco, just because of how high of a
draft pick
was. I think they were saying today he was one of the highest. He was a 4th rounder, and this is the first time since 2012 that a 4th rounder, I think it was Michael Johnson, a safety, got drafted and didn't play a snap for the Cowboys and got retained. But at the same time, he got waived injured. So when you get waived injured, people really don't pick you up. So he might end up as a Cowboy on the practice squad as well. So, and somebody that a surprise made the team. I want to say. No, I had everybody that there was no glaring person.
No surprises.
There was no real surprise. Like they earned their way on this team. You know what I mean?
Right.
Moreno Cropper lost his way on this team. You know what I mean? Like he had it and then he lost his way on this team. You saw it on the team. Oh yeah, Trey Lance. What the fuck's he doing on this team?
21. Is there any surprises that made it or any disappointments that got cut, brother?
So for me, that I guess I think we're all in conclusion that Harvey, right, that he got we were all surprised with that. But also Billy Johnson, I thought I seen some good good out of him, right, in preseason, in training camp, right. I thought we seen some good wide receiver catches out of him and everything. So I was surprised they cut him and let him go. But I also like Flournoy, so so that's my big big surprise with the cut, right, Billy Johnson. Okay. But with who made it, well, I'm gonna say what Mikey said. What the fuck is Trey Lance still doing on here?
$5 million. That's why he's still here.
The Joneses don't like to be wrong. That's what it is.
That's true. Rue, any surprises or that's still here and not here?
When you really boil down to it, I think Deuce is somewhat of a surprise, just because of how many guys they brought in. So Deuce is a tick of a surprise. I think my most disappointing one is honestly Jalen Cropper. I know he had some bad moments in the preseason, but he had some good ones as well. You know, some of those situations that he found himself in. But you know, there isn't a guy that they kept that I take him over. You know, I really loved what Flournoy looked like. I thought Flournoy had a great preseason. Obviously, y'all know how I feel about Jalen Tolbert. I feel like this is the year for him to kind of shut a lot of people up, and it's going to be funny when it happens. And you know, outside of that, there's not much that I'm, you know, really taken aback by. Maybe Josh Ball, maybe, but I definitely would much rather have TJ Bass.
I like how knowledgeable you are, bro. You're on the money.
Yeah.
But I definitely would rather have TJ Bass. And Asim Richards, I think it's just for depth at this point, but we'll see.
No,
We'll see.
They still could work on him. He shows he's
another
passionate.
year. Got another year.
Well, that's because a Doga is a hurt Doga.
Like I said, depth is necessary at that position. He found himself where he got a little bit of leverage, so he got to stay. But he definitely need to pick it up because this might be the last year if you don't figure something out and at least become valuable as one of them backups. I don't know if he'll ever start, but to be a reliable backup is a real thing.
Well, let's pose the question to Mike from Cowboy Corner. Mike, what is going on tonight? How you doing tonight, brother?
That's Fruzy.
Really good, really good. How do I sound?
You sound
Sound great. Sound
How do
great.
I look, Armando?
Widow's Peak.
That is, I'm. This is the first show on the new laptop. It finally came in today.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
Oh man,
Okay, I see.
I can still see the tears from Saturday.
No Yodas. No Yodas. Ain't no crying. Do you watch film? He's gonna tell you that last interception.
Do you know that he didn't throw any of those? It just happened. I bet you.
That Prescott throws 15 interceptions.
That's what happened. That's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna let Mike answer the original question. We're gonna let Mike answer the
Love you,
original
boss.
question.
Love you, boss. Even though you're the
What's
slut
the
of all
original
these
question, big fella?
podcasts.
Remind me.
Look, I wore this to troll Mike today because I knew he was gonna come on. You know,
Yes,
I said
sir.
I'm gonna go find a 19 jersey in my closet somewhere. And
Is
try
that
to troll him.
Keyshawn?
No,
Or
this
Miles
is
Austin?
This is Miles.
Miles for miles, baby.
It's because it's the
Miles for
Reebok.
miles.
It's a Miles. So the original question, Mike, was: are you surprised, or who are you surprised that made the team, and who are you surprised that got cut from the team?
Yeah, man. Like on the cut side, I'll start with cut side because there was actually a Harris, number 46, that linebacker. I thought he made good plays. Julius Woods, number 33. I thought you could use Donovan Wilson as trade bait because you could save $5 million on the cap.
Julius Woods got cut. I thought he made the team.
No, Julius Woods got cut. I thought you could.
That was our special teams guy.
I thought you could cut or trade Wilson and bring in Julius Woods into that spot because I thought he was really consistent. Span Ford, to me, making this team is weird to me. It really is. I didn't see a lot from him in training camp and in these preseason games where I was like, yeah, this guy needs to be wrote in as a 53 guy. But I think what's happening, and we've seen the Cowboys do this, well, they'll stash some of their favorites, wait for the waiver wire to get all crazy, then they'll cut them and then stash them on the practice
squad.
Yeah. So I think Spanford is that type of guy. Another guy to me is Deuce Vaughn. Why is Deuce Vaughn here?
I know.
There's no reason why Mighty Mouse is here. I get what Rue said with the personnel setup with Mighty Mouse, but there's Mike McCarthy does not know how to use them, and that proved it. The Lions game, when he got his opportunity, proved it. So wasted roster spot, bring in Dalvin Cook, get rid of Mighty Mouse.
Hey, he was gonna get hit with the switch. You see that shit?
says if you're under 18.
Yeah, he said.
I'll get the other ones.
What,
Oh, she's fine.
I thought Wood made
Well-
the team.
well, Mighty Mouse was a good cartoon, and he was a superhero, right? So no matter how small you are, anything like that. I don't know why people hate Deuce all of a sudden, dude. I'm like,
Here I come
hey,
today. Mighty
I-
Mouse was,
I think,
Davis
man,
Stoudemire, point guard, Arizona.
I think in the right situation, man, Deuce Vaughn could produce for the Cowboys, man. I really do. Think about it. He's our only change of pace back. Who else is the change of pace back on the team? Who else? Everybody else is basically similar. They just run hard, Which one of them has any kind of breakaway?
What do they
Zeke-
call?
can-
He has that juice. Is it that what they
Yeah,
said he had?
yeah,
He has that
yeah.
juice.
Can Zeke run away from people anymore? He did his first and second year. He can't anymore. Have you ever seen Rico run away from anybody? Nope. I mean, he's the change of pace back. Everybody else was basically the same thing. They were all similar.
Y'all see what Joe said? Shout
What'd
out
he
to my
say?
boy St. Louis Joe, man.
See, last week, y'all said Zeke was getting cut. All of y'all.
I might have said I wish he didn't
No.
get cut.
I was the only one that said it. I said I would have cut him. That's what I said. But he made the team. So I was wrong.
It was the writing
I was
on the
wrong.
wall, but we didn't see him in preseason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
for
wrong.
sure. With him and his
No,
little
it
t-shirt.
was more of a hypothetical. It was a well thought out hypothetical. It was food for thought, and it was a good conversation.
Yeah, we were literally we said which four would we keep, and I kept everybody except for Zeke. So,
I kept Zeke.
we don't know. That's the issue, man. We hadn't seen him play. Even when he was in New England, he didn't get much play. I'm
He
like,
he had some moments, man. He did.
Yeah, he had moments. I think
Moments.
ultimately, it all
Moments.
comes down to what Mikey says is that O line.
It's the star of the team, or
Yep.
the star of the offense is its O line, or the star of the running game is the O line. It's the and I hate to say it, it's the 2015 Cowboys. As far as the running back room,
yeah,
Shit, that one might have been better, bro. Actually, yeah.
no, because Randall got caught stealing a G string.
you won't let that go, and it was not.
I won't let him go. He
It
was
was- it
awesome.
was
Even in
Cologne.
Madden.
It was
Like how you
Cologne.
used to like using
It was-
Randall over
was
fucking
Cologne.
DeMarco Murray because DeMarco Murray is so goddamn slow. I don't even get into it.
It was cologne. Let it go. He wanted to
It
smell
was a
good for the
G-string.
ladies. It was cologne.
Do we know what? No.
Anyway, let's keep going. Now, corner. You had some thoughts in the chat. Anything that you want to bring up particular that we've said in this show today?
No, man. No, I will say this. And I'm not here to say this to be argumentative. I'm not here to say this to take over the show. I'm not here to say this to debate anybody. This is what I will say. A third string quarterback came into this team from the 49ers to the Dallas Cowboys. We see him in 3 preseason games. To say he looked absolutely trash in that third playoff game is absolutely nonsense. That first drive when he went 6 for 7, 62 yards, and got to do the field goal, Trey Lance looked phenomenal. The play where he did his RPO and ran it into a touchdown looked good. The fade to Ryan Flournoy, who just made the team on the end zone, that drive was phenomenal. The 5 interceptions, yes. Some of that's on Trey Lance. Yes, some of that's good defensive play. Yes, some of that's and yes, some of that's number 14. But what I'm saying here, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, is if we're going to hold a third string quarterback to a certain standard, you have to hold your number 1 quarterback to a higher standard, and you always have to keep that in mind. We can judge a third string quarterback on a performance with third stringers. We could do that. But if we can't hold QB1 to a higher standard, then we're failing as a fan base. That's what I'll add and say.
Any rebuttal?
Look. Listen, I guess the biggest difference is I'm not willing to take jabs at Dak Prescott and pretend like he's not the most valuable piece of this team when he is. Because he is. Being the quarterback of this team, being the leader of this team holds its weight on its own, just being the head of the snake for the Dallas Cowboys. But with Trey Lance, the reason there was some expectation is because you had to justify to me why the fuck you let go of a 4th-round pick in the middle of the season where we didn't need a fucking quarterback. Not to mention you have touts, people like yourself, telling me that this kid is going to be the future of the Dallas Cowboys. He could potentially take the starting job from Dak Prescott. He could be what they're looking to move forward to for the future, given the right situation. I'm telling you right now, I hope that never fucking happens. Because this kid is just matter of fact, man, he's just not that good. It looks forced. It's very inaccurate. It's he looks so hesitant in the field of play, and to say that because of one drive or another, it excuses
It's
five
multiple
picks.
drives, though. There was 3 games.
It's
There was
5
3 games.
picks in a single game where you're playing guys that got cut today.
Romo threw 5 picks in a single game. What are we
In
talking
a
He
about?
won the
regular
game.
season
He
game?
won the game. He
In a
won it.
regular
though.
season game,
He won it.
His kicker won the game.
No.
His
that-
kicker
oh
won
my
that game.
God.
so his
If
kicker
his
got him
kicker
to where
missed it-
his kicker got him to where he was at, so he could kick the ball. His
If-
kicker got the ball down to where it was at, so he could kick the game-winning field
If
goal.
his
That's how
kicker
that
missed
works.
it, he don't win that game. Come on now. The
Okay,
kicker-
So
I got
Tom Brady-
this one.
so Tom
Rewind.
Brady only has 4 Super Bowls, not 6. Is that what you're telling me?
What
Tom
I'm
Brady
saying,
don't have 6
you're
Super
missing the
Bowls. He's
point of
only
the
got
5
4.
interceptions.
Because
My point
Vinatieri
is,
won the
it's
other
gonna
2.
happen. And then the comment that he's a first round, 3rd overall pick. No, maybe for the Niners, but for us, he's a 4th round pick.
Listen, I'll let you talk.
He's played 3 games for the
I'll
Dallas
let you
Cowboys.
talk, and I'm not going to
Dak
let you
Prescott,
sit here
yeah,
and
he's a
make excuses
4th-round
for a
pick.
guy that's at best going to be a backup for the rest of his
And that's
career.
okay, Rue. And that's okay to be a backup. And that's okay.
But that's
We
not
don't
the
need
story.
Trey
No,
Lance
but that's not the
this
story
year
that
and
was
next
told
year.
to me. No,
We need
but
Trey
no, I'm not
Lance.
going to let you. I'm not going to let you do that though, because that's not
Who's
what you
not?
told me.
I'm not saying
I'm not
Trey
going to
Lance
let you
is going
sit
to be the
here and tell me
starter.
it's okay that he's going to be a backup when you told me that this guy was going to be the guy that could be the future. for
No,
this team.
no, you're making stuff
Yes.
up. Because when
No.
when Big Fella asked me, what's the plan then? Did I say Trey Lance was the starting quarterback? No. No, I didn't. What did I say? I said, Dak's going to the Raiders as a free agent. CeeDee Lamb's going to get signed. And you trade Micah Parsons to get into the top 10. Did I anywhere in that did I say Trey Lance is the starter?
You might have started saying that during the preseason, but before it started, there was murmurs from you about this kid doing whatever. Now you might have been playing. You might have been playing. You might have been facetious. I don't know.
You never heard that. You've never heard me say that.
Oh,
I said
yes,
I want to see
you
what
said
he
it.
has.
I'm gonna have to go back.
I
I'm gonna
said
go back
I
'cause
want to
you
see
said
what
it.
he has.
Why would I make that up? You said it. I've
Because
heard
it's
you say
fitting
it.
your narrative to put words in my mouth. I said I want to see what the kid can do. You said you wanted to see what Trey Lance
I
could
did.
do.
I'll admit that. I said I wanted to see what he could do.
think we
We
all-
all wanted to see.
But
None
I-
of us seen Trey
but
Lance
the
play with
bottom
the
line
star
is-
in his helmet.
So, all right, you know what? If you didn't say it, you didn't say it. But all I'm saying is I was fed a load of bullshit. Not just by you. I heard it from other people, too. There was other people.
Oh, there was a lot of
There's a ton
anti-Dacker
of people-
saying it.
there's
You
a
didn't
ton
see
of-
it from
there's
me.
a ton of people on this late Trey Lance train. He's going to come be the quarterback of the future, this, that, and the third. If you weren't a part of that, I apologize. I retract my statement. But ultimately, it was said by people. So when you sell me a bill of goods like that and I see that on the field, him being a backup is irrelevant to me. I have a backup. I got Cooper Rush. I don't need another backup. Why I need 3 quarterbacks? Why?
Because you have an emergency quarterback. It's an NFL
I
rule.
don't want to hear about this nonsense. I don't even
It's
care.
the truth.
But what do you mean? There's teams that with only 2.
No, you have a third. Every team carries 3 quarterbacks now because you have an emergency quarterback. Yes.
They have to now. This rule change.
Unless you just want to just throw away that spot.
How many of those guys are getting paid $5 million? I'm just curious.
You know why Trey Lance is getting paid $5 million?
I know why, but
Because the 49ers drafted him in the first round, 3rd overall. The Cowboys have nothing to do with that salary. They're paying it. And guess what? The Cowboys didn't pick up a fifth-year option.
I want to know how many third-string quarterbacks are making $5 million. I just want to know.
How many second strings are making more than that? Come on now. Let's stop
Cooper
that.
Rush. Cooper Rush make that.
What in today's NFL, when a quarterback's making $60 million, what the hell is $5 million? What the hell is $5 million?
Every dollar counts when you got
$5 million is $5 to the average man. Come on now.
To a $1 billion industry like the NFL, $5 million ain't shit.
It's not about that. It's you have a
after
cap.
taxes. He's looking at maybe 1.5.
You talk about delegating money. At the end of the day, we're delegating money to the wrong place, and it's just like, for what? And not to mention, you gave up a 4th round pick, a round that you in history do very well in, for a guy like Trey Lance.
Why are you giving up on a guy in 3 games?
I'm not giving up on a guy in 3 games, bro.
Yes, you are. You just said that.
But it's not just 3 games.
It is 3 games. With the star on his helmet, it's just 3 games.
Him sitting another year is not going to help his situation.
It helped. Tony Romo set the bench for 3 years.
I don't believe it.
Come on, we gotta stop being scared of the unknown.
I don't see it.
We gotta,
and it especially ain't happening by next year. It ain't happening by next year. You telling me he's gonna sit the rest of this year and be better next year? I don't see it.
Do you not see the progress there? Do you not believe in progress? Are you a better guy right now than you were 2 years ago? What about 5 years ago?
Worse in the preseason against backups than what I saw from him in San Francisco. So yeah, I have skepticism. I don't see it.
But but him being a 3rd string quarterback, it bothers you.
You're stretching for it to happen. I think you got.
I'm not
want
stretching
it to happen.
I'm asking you a question. A 3rd string quarterback bothers you.
No, it's not about it bothering me. I just feel like it was completely
my
problem is with the move from the very beginning. We needed a linebacker and that spot at that point in the season, and instead, what do? We spend a 4th round pick on a guy like Trey Lance. Come in and be the future quarterback of the Dallas. Like, get the fuck out of here.
We didn't do nothing. Jerry did that.
That's my point. It should have never happened to begin with. You could have got any other 3rd string quarterback for peanuts on the fucking dollar. You spent a 4th round pick on the guy in the middle of the season where you had $20 million.
It was the first of the season,
and you could have went.
It was the first of the season.
We still had $20 million with cap space. Did we or not?
And you still got 28 right now. So what's your point?
You could have done something.
So what do we need right now that Trey Lance is hindering when you got $28 million on the cap right now?
I'm talking about when it
happened. Let's talk about right now, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about right now. What is Trey Lance hindering? It ain't cap space, because you already mentioned $28 million in cap space right now. So what is he's a 3rd string quarterback. So what's the problem with Trey Lance right now being on this team?
There's not a problem with Trey Lance.
Then why are we debating Trey Lance?
To me, it's not a problem, but I think that I expected more. I expected more. When this man how long has he been in the league? And to me, we're still looking at him like he's a rookie.
3 years. He's been in the league 3 years.
How long has he been with the Cowboys? That's the question.
Yeah, but I mean,
because he failed miserably in the 49ers. He failed miserably with the 49ers. How long has he been a Cowboy? How long has he been in this system? How many games has he played in this system? How many reps? Trey Lance looked good sometimes, and he looked bad sometimes. So guess what? You could take the good and keep that going and keep learning from that, and you can take the bad and keep learning from that. We got to stop being scared. That's what it boils down to. We got to. There's people that's been saying 5-12 when Dak's gone, and that's haunted you guys asleep ever since Big Fella said that. We got to stop thinking that. We got to let the kid develop. Now, if he flunks next year, even if he's on the team next year, no quarterback on this team right now is even on the team next year.
He won't be.
So even if he's even on the team right now, I would rather have Dak, Cooper Rush, and Trey Lance as my 3 quarterbacks than some dude coming off the street filling that emergency spot. Because we haven't seen Trey Lance with CeeDee Lamb or with Turpin and with Brandon Cooks. We haven't. When he was running with at least the twos, he looked good. Let's not act like he didn't. The 5 picks, The linebacker didn't make a good play, Swat didn't catch it. Did 14 not help him on 2 of them? 2 picks was definitely his fault. But it's called an evaluation process. Trey Lance being on this team hurts nothing. And we can actually see what he has. And if they want to sign him as a backup quarterback with backup money, what does that hurt? Nothing.
Well, I understand what Rue was saying when he started debating you, okay? When he said selling a bill of goods, everybody, including you, Mike, was blowing that trumpet. Trey. We can't wait to see Trey. Trey is the future. Don't be afraid of the future. That's exactly what you said, Mike.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
So, in the 3 preseason games where he got 80% of the snaps at quarterback, he looked like shit.
No, not all 3 games.
He did, Mike.
No.
You can't, Mike.
No.
Like I understand the glasses that you wear about the quarterback position in Dallas, but it's sometimes we're wrong, brother.
You're gonna tell me I'm wrong all 3 games?
Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Let me finish. When I was wrong, I said I was wrong, Mike. For 4 months coming up to training camp. That's all, and including on your show, the king of the Dak haters, y'all talked about Trey. That's all you talked about. That's all you said. This is our fucking future. You said it. The people on your show said it. So when Rue come back and challenge you, the first thing you said is, no, I ain't say that.
No. He said he worded it differently.
I was looking for those receipts. I couldn't find them. I didn't know where to look.
Trey looking like an ashtray over there.
Bro, look, I'm not gonna say that he was trash. I'm not gonna say he was trash. But he's a backup quarterback at best.
Thank you.
But no,
quarterback
and that's what I wanted to see.
But that's not the bill of goods we were sold.
That's all I'm saying. Point. Yeah, don't say
there's still time. He's young.
Yeah, it's gonna be time because Jerry said he ain't gonna cut him. But if Trey was on any other fucking team in the league, he would be cut.
That's
false. You know it, Mike. Yes, he would. He would be cut, Mike.
That's false. The Cowboys were the only reason wanted to trade for him.
Hold on. The only reason Tony Romo made the team because Quincy Carter couldn't stop snorting coke. Okay, but his ass would have got cut. He would have got cut.
Tony would have got cut.
Tony Romo would have got cut.
There was progress in his game. What are you talking about?
He was the
Look at all the documentaries Bill Parcells has. Come on. There's plenty of documentaries where Bill Parcells was disputing what you just said.
He was the 4th-string quarterback.
As an undrafted free agent, you got to start somewhere. Exactly. Thank you.
That didn't mean you dropped the damn mic and won the argument because you said thank you. It was still the 4th-string fucking quarterback. If he wouldn't have been snorting coke, Tony Romo would have never been on the Cowboys. The reason I'm saying this is Trey Lance is here for one reason, is because the Niners gave him that money. The Cowboys are liable for paying him that money, and that's the only reason he's on the team. Because if he was making money like Cooper Rush or any other 3rd-string quarterback, his ass would have been cut. Period. I dropped it. Hold on, let me drop something.
No, you didn't drop nothing. First of all, saying that a quarterback or any player that sits on the bench is on any team deserves to get cut. There's called evaluations, big fella. It's called evaluation.
I understand the word. Yes, I understand.
Dak was a 3rd-string quarterback. He looked good in the preseason. His accuracy wasn't good in the first 3 years of his career. His decision making, his defensive reading wasn't good, right? But what happened? You've seen a trajectory with Dak getting a little better. And when Mike McCarthy came in, Dak has looked his best under Mike McCarthy. Why? Because from 2016 to 2024, there's been an uphill spiral. But when the playoffs, I call him the GOAT, the MVP GOAT of the regular season. Do I not? In the playoffs, what happens? His stock falls, right? So
If Dak was on a team playing like that, he would have got benched. Let's play devil's advocate. No, you don't do that. Why? Because there's a level of success. There's evaluation. Tony Romo, right, had the evaluation. Tom Brady sat on the bench. There was evaluation, right? Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench. There's evaluation. Trey Lance is still on this team because he did some really good things and he did some really bad things, and he's a third-string quarterback. To say that players that are sitting on the bench, waiting and developing, are getting cut on any random team, pick up your pen because you didn't drop it.
Well, let me go back to what you said. I'm glad you brought up Dak, because Dak showed improve as a fucking rookie. He was a rookie when he got the starting job because Tony Romo got hurt, and he increased. Okay, Trey Lance is his fourth year in the league. This is his fourth year in the league, and he's digressed. And you can't compare the damn two. You can't compare it because Dak as a rookie improved. Trey Lance has gone down, and this is his fourth year in the fucking league. So you can't compare those two. You cannot compare them, Mike. You compare Dak Prescott and you couldn't. He did it as a rookie. He started as a rookie. Who's
the starter? Who's the starter? And who's the third string? We're saying the same thing.
You compared Dak Prescott and Trey Lance when they began their career. When they began their career. That's what I'm talking about.
You missed the whole point if you got that out of that. You have to let people develop. Trey in a system. You just can't go system to system to system. Look at all the first round busts.
The only thing that you're doing right now is taking advantage of the fact that he's extremely young. He's younger than some of the rookies that have come in from this draft class. That's really that's the only thing that you have to hold on to, is the fact that he's extremely young and that you're hoping that he's going to develop. But the fact is, we were sold a bill of goods that this guy was already there, and he's just not. He's not there. You can't
look completely trash.
He doesn't look close to being.
I'm not saying that he was not completely trash.
So because you're saying he's not completely trash.
But the bottom line is, we were sold a bill of goods that he'd be the starting quarterback at some point for this team. I don't think that'll ever happen. I'll sit here and say that today. I don't believe that would ever happen in this league. I don't. I think he'll be forgotten about and he'll be out of the picture before you know it. I don't believe
that. There's too much talent there. He'll be in the league a long time.
We'll see.
We will see. All right. We got our weekly argument about Trey Lance.
and I said it. I wasn't trying to, but I apologize. Thanks for having me.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you wasn't trying to?
I got the new laptop. I wanted to see if it worked, and God, I'm so lucky it worked. And I love
this. Anyway,
4K baby, 4K coming to you live in 4K.
4K. Exactly. Well, look, man. I guess that's why we love this certain thing called football, man, because we got a different opinion on a lot of things, especially our team. Now, don't get me wrong, people that's in our chat and everything. We do appreciate everybody being in our chat. We're all Cowboy fans. Don't think we're not. don't think we're not. We just have a different opinion on how we cheer and how our organization should be run. That's all it is. And why we do have this opportunity, everybody in this chat, man, y'all better hit that like button and subscribe to the Cowboy Up Podcast. I don't care which one you go into, Armando page, my page. I don't give a damn. Hit some goddamn button and hit like. So, man, let's do this, man. We're coming to our final thoughts, man. Let's go. Mike, you got any final thoughts, man, for us?
Hey, Trey Lance, a lot of these, I hope, I wish, I want, I think, all that's behind us. Week 1 is in 12 days. The Browns are in 12 days, all right?
Yep.
I don't want to see none of this rust from anybody, whether that's Dak, whether that's Cooks, whether that's Lamb. I want the mentality to be set right there week 1. Who are we? We didn't make any fancy moves this offseason. We didn't need to because the core pieces are still intact. And I need those core pieces to show me that they're still core pieces. I need Trayvon Diggs to go shut down Amari Cooper. That's what I need. Amari Cooper wants to talk all his mess after he left, and we're going to shut him up. We're going to shut him up, all right? I need this running game to get figured out between now and then, whether that's Dalvin Cook, whether that's who it is, but we can't have Mighty Mouse in the game. We just can't. Not against starters. No Mighty Mouse power for me. Span forward, I don't know why he's here. We need to figure that out. All right. But when it's all said and done, this is real football time. This is real criticism time. This is real game time. Thank you for sharing the link. You guys subscribe to the Cowboy Up podcast. If y'all want to click something on TikTok, click this right here. You guys subscribe to these guys right here. Rue, Armando, 520, Mikey, and the big fella right there. These guys are passionate Cowboy fans that love the Star. We all love the Star. We all think we know what's best for the Star. But at the end of the day, there's only one person in control. And he said he could do that job real good. But we got 30 years of no NFC championship. Jerry, we got 30 years of not drafting a quarterback in the first round and developing our own. We got 30 years of ego not accepting the draft pick like a Taco Charlton. That's what we got. We're arguing amongst ourselves because what Jerry does. If we could get to an NFC championship game, you'd see me in a Dak jersey. If we could get to a Super Bowl, you'd see Cowboys being rated $20 billion on the scale, all right? But we're only 10, and we haven't sniffed it. So snip that on the Tic Tacs. I'm out.
Peace.
So our resident Mighty Mouse on our team, 21, man. What's your final thoughts?
Hey, fellas, week 1 is upon us. The Browns, it's 12 days away, as Mike put it. It can't get any closer, man. I'm excited. This is where we see all this talk that we've been talking, and this is where it all comes in. And week 1, man, the Browns, it's put up or shut up time, and these games do count. So I'm excited. Week 1, once again, tell your friends about us. Like, subscribe, you guys, to the Cowboy Up podcast. So we're trying to get to that, at least 1,000 subscribers. It's the beginning of the season. I can already imagine the first show we do after week 1 is gonna be live. So I'm excited for it. You guys go check us out, and we all have our pages. Retrofit Rule on TikTok, the big fella Dallas Cowboy Chris on TikTok. He's everywhere. You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Check us out, y'all. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff.
All right. Our great Persian, my man Retro Fit Sports. What's up, baby, man? Give me your final thoughts, baby. What's up? What's happening?
I mean, it's fresh cut grass. It's Saturday. I get real football this week. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year, and it's one of those situations where it's like I've been waiting for this week 1 against Cleveland. I feel like for forever now. I feel like every week on this show, I've been like, all I want to see is what we look like against Cleveland, and it's so nice to be able to open the season with a team that can bring it and has given us trouble in the past. It's going to be a real test for this offense, especially for this defense. And I think that I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I did a few weeks ago, especially about the defensive side of the ball and the linebacker room. When it comes down to it, the gambler in me is always paying attention to this shit, and the line has moved. I could have sworn, and I could be wrong, but it opened, I thought, with the Cowboys at -1. It is now Cleveland -2.5, which is pretty significant movement. Obviously, CeeDee had something to do with that, but I'm surprised that it hasn't gone back down to that 1.5 with the acquisition of CeeDee Lamb being back on this roster. All that being said, this team has to win this game because it's one of those games that is just a bulletin on your resume, and this is a real defense. And I just really can't wait to see these weapons kind of flying around, because the room I've always been most excited about, and it's probably because I played the position, I love the wide receiver room, and I just want to see it develop. I want to see it become what I think it can become, and I think we have the right pieces in place to make that shit happen, especially with bringing CeeDee back. I can't wait. I'm excited, and the fact is, man, this is one of those years where I'm kind of like I'm just gritting my teeth. I'm gritting my teeth because I just want to see the product on the field as it sits today. Because the fact is, this team has brought back more all pros than any other team out of the entire 32 teams in the NFL. There are pieces here for us to do what needs to be done to win, and there really are no excuses. And I believe it can happen this year, and I hope that it does, because the NFC is still so wide open. The Lions made the NFC Championship game. I know this team can make that game. Yep. They just have to show me that the improvements that they made on this roster are real, and it's not just fool's gold that I'm looking at in the preseason.
All right. Well, man, mine is super simple. My wife will see less of me. My family will see less of me. I have a no nonsense policy when it's come to football season.
They'll know where to find you though.
When it's Saturday, we always scream and go blue, and when it's Sunday, we always say, "How about them Cowboys?" So look, man, it is here. We got a week and a half wait. This week is kind of like the Super Bowl week. You know, you got to wait 2 weeks to see them. It's just you're just sitting in your chair, just rocking. But thank you, college football. Thank you, college football, for showing up, man. And hopefully those 915 Miners may pick up a win this year somewhere. Hopefully the Longhorns may win 1 or 2 this year. But those defending national champions. Always go blue. But look, man, thanks for joining the Cowboy podcast tonight, man. We had a blast, man. Thanks, Mikey. I think he had some technical difficulty like I did in the beginning of the show. Thanks, Cowboy Corner, for always joining in, man, having a good debate with us. Also, man, thanks to Rue down there in the Hill Country, my man 21 in Cholo Town, the 915. Like everybody said, man, just it helps us out, man. Like us and subscribe to us. And like we always say here, Dallas Cowboys for life.
Puro pinches Cowboys.
We'll see you next time. Peace.
Let me give a big shout out to Sports Second Louis Joe, bro, in the building. Always WWE. Ivan Sosa in the building.
You see him?
Loyalist. We got Cowboy Beat in the building.
The great Cowboy Beat.
What's up, big shout out, man. Big shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all joining. We only growing, guys. We only growing. It's gonna get bigger. I'm excited.
Hey, did you see he got retrofit right in the introduction?
I did.
Hey, man. Hey,
dancing.
Hold on, player. Sometimes I screw up, player. You know, hey, man.
Players fuck up.
Hey, yeah, players fuck up. Yeah. First day of pads. Say, man, you know, we all played, man. It's just something about that first day. Ain't nothing like it. It is nothing like it, man. Because now to me, tomorrow tells the truth. Today was the truth, but tomorrow tells the truth. I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of this shit, man. You know, I know we all co-hosts, but you know, I like to have a little quick monologue before we get into a subject. You know, your ass always got to spread shit and eating wings and
Motherfucker sprint.
Calm down.
Calm
down, Mikey. Calm down, Mikey.
What you sprinting right now?
Yeah, we got a long show. We can go as long as you want to, man. So 21, what you got for Brock today, man?
Pleasure to meet you, Brock. I appreciate the love on TikTok, man. Shout out to Brock, man. Welcome to the show. So hey, I got the hard hitting questions. So I got the controversial.
Yeah. You to come out with that Whataburger in and out, right?
I was we kind of light, but big fella, I gotta hit him with Walter Cronkite stuff here.
Okay.
Drake or Kendrick?
See, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like I have never really grew up liking Kendrick like that, right? I've always been a big Drake fan, so I'm gonna say Drake, but not like us. Like I was telling Terrence the other day, because Terrence is a huge Kendrick fan. I was like, not like us has me feel like a certain way, because I'm like sitting there like vibing to that song, but it's like this is Drake, you know, and I'm a Drake fan over Kendrick any day. So that's not the only Kendrick song I like. Yeah.
And remember, like, subscribe. You know, don't forget to like. Don't forget to like. You know, if you love us, tell your friends about us. Like.